Hey guys, welcome to the channel, and today we will be looking at a product from Hansshaw. I've been kind of looking for this product for quite some time, and going to be on a trip this month. Then it's going to be a pretty long trip, so I thought let's get this and install it so I can give you the total installation video and a product review. So it's basically a Hansshaw screen swivel kit. Comes in a really nice black packaging. If you order it from their website or from Amazon, the latest version is version 2.0. There are two kinds. So the version 1, where the screen rotation kit basically gives you a rotation of 30 degrees each side, left and right, and the version 2 gives you 30 degrees left and right, as well as 15 degrees tilt upwards and downwards. So that's pretty amazing. That helps you in reducing your glare, and after installing this product you can really customize or tilt your screen as per your taste, and it makes your screen looks towards near to your kind of view, and makes your drive even more amazing. So let's unbox this, see what we have. As per Hansshaw, they have included everything in the box for the installation should not take more than 30 minutes, I guess, maximum. It's pretty straightforward installation. You don't have to remove the battery or like unplug the battery or anything like that. So let's unbox it, and I will tell you step-by-step instructions, what tools you need to go for the installation. And yeah, so let's see. It's a very tight packaging. So it opens up like a top box open. The first thing which you will notice is the instruction booklet. It's just like a regular printout, colored printout on like 2 pages, front and back. Tells you step by step. This box has a foam on the top, and if you will see, it has everything inside the box. This is the actual swivel kit, which will help you rotating the screen. So looks like an aluminum product, nice finish. It's black in color. These are the screws which will hold it in place, and the plastic mount. It also, Hansshaw is also giving you the packet of tools which you need for the installation, and they say that these tools are enough for your installation. And then these are in this packet. There are the temperature sensor covers. So like it covers, the Hansshaw is providing you 2 covers for the older generation and then the newer generation Tesla Model 3 and Model Y. So you can use as per your car model. And this is the plastic casing which goes in the back. Looks kind of okay, and I think the color matches with the OEM Tesla. So yeah, that's in the packaging. If you don't want to use the tools provided by Hansshaw, you basically need a 10 mm socket wrench, something like this, and then you will need a flat screwdriver, and apart from that you will also need basically hex screw heads, I believe T25, hex 5, and T10, if I'm not wrong. So let's quickly see on the installation. Also it says, yeah, it says T25, hex 5, and 10 mm like screwdriver. So the only thing which you will be using from Hansshaw is this big Allen key, which is a ginormous Allen key. I think this is the one which holds the big bolt in the center in the place. So if you feel that this thing is too tight, you can loosen it by using that big hex key. So let's go into the car, and I'll tell you the step-by-step instructions how to install it. So yeah, we are back in the car, and I will try and make it as lighted as possible. I'm in the garage because it's 95 degrees outside. I cannot park the car outside and work. It's super duper hot. So first thing which I will do is that I just keep the fan on, because I'm gonna disable the screen, put it in the screen cleaning mode, so I don't end up basically, you know, touching up the screen and mess up, because we'll be removing the screen. So the first part which we have to remove is, if you can see here, this is the grill. So this grill has a small opening up here, which we'll use a pry tool. Be very gentle with it and try and pull this out, because there's a temperature sensor behind it and all the access to open this part from here. So let me try and okay. So this is the pry tool which we will use, and I'll try and go down and pry it up, open it. Okay. Be very careful with it, because this thing is tightly secured in the place. You might have to wiggle it a couple of times to make sure that this thing opens up. Yeah, this thing is held its place securely. So guys, finally I managed to open up this. It was pretty tightly secure, very nicely tucked in here. The problem is that there is a small niche here from where you put your pry tool in, but then, you know, because of the screen, you don't get that leverage to pull. You might have to do a little bit of an exercise, and don't give up, it will come out. I ended up using my personal second pry tool, you know, to just pull one in and then make a little space, and then put another one and then pull it towards the non-driver side. I'm doing it from the non-driver side, because from the driver side the steering comes in between. So yeah, this comes out, and then the only thing which you have to do is to unplug this part. Be careful, these wire looks pretty you know, thin, and you might end up breaking it, so don't pull too hard. Unclip it and take the temperature sensor out. It might look a little different in your car, because if this is the 2021 version, if you have 2021 version before that one, this was a little different. So be careful, take your time, take it out nicely and gently, and then you can there has to be a plug in this which you can click and pull it out. Okay. Yeah, I will let it hang free for 1 second, and then we have to open up the two screws which are here. If you can see, they are tucked in here and here. The only problem is that these are some plastic parts here. I think these are for to hold this temperature sensor in place, and they're just right next to the bolt which we have to open. So I'm not sure I will be using the wrench which came with the Hansshaw kit, because if you end up slipping, you know, let me show you what I'm saying. So this is the wrench which came with the Hansshaw. So you know, when you plug it in here and try to move, if it slips, it can break this plastic part. So I will end up using my own wrench kit, which is like wrench socket, 10mm wrench socket, to open it, so I don't end up, you know, breaking it. So you just basically plug that in here and open it. It's pretty easy to open with this tool. You're gonna keep these both screws with you, because you're gonna use them and installing it back. So after opening that up, you can remove the temperature sensor. There is a small clip, you press it on this end and pull it gently, and then this temperature sensor comes out completely. We will not be using this assembly. We will be unscrewing these two screws and take this part out and use a Hansshaw temperature sensor cover on this. So for time being, I'm just going to keep it on the side, and now I'm going to focus on opening up these two screws here so I can take the screen out. So the first screw is out. This is the screw. It's only this much of the part which is hooked in, so be a little careful. I'm going to keep it in the cup holder, and I will work on the other side screw, which is on this side, if you guys can see it. And I will open it and I'll tell you the next steps. So I've taken both the screws out, and I think it's good to use your own 10 mm socket rather than using the wrench, because these screws are kind of in a very hidden spot, and with the wrench it would have been really difficult to go down and, you know, move your hand, do that hand movement to the screen, and I was scared too that I will end up doing some damage. So like the socket helped me opening up easily. Now the screws are out. Now it's time to take the screen out. You have to hold the screen from both the sides. You have to do a gentle wiggle. Be careful because this screen is right now in a place you don't want to, you know, yank it out and end up kind of causing a damage to the cable, because the cable is still connected in the back. See, it is out from one side and still stuck from the other. Be gentle. And here comes the screen out. I have placed a cloth under it to make sure that the screen lies flat on it and I don't end up damaging it. Be careful, it was putting up a little bit of tension on the cable. If you'll see, it's just pulling it there. So I will just move the cloth a little bit up. And the screen lies flat here. Now the next step is that we have this is the temperature sensor. So we have to remove this clip out, but for that we have to take this piece out because we will not be using this piece anymore. And there are two screws, if you can see, here and here. So we will use the Hansshaw kit provided tool to open these two screws and take this piece out. This is the T which I'm going to use the other end of it to unscrew those two bolts from there. And I know this is not the perfect angle to show you on the camera, but let me just hold it because it's a little hard to do it from one hand. But this one side screw is open, if you can see. And now the other side screw. Let's unscrew this. They're not super tight, so you can use a gentle force. I just don't want to press it too hard because this is the main part of the Tesla which I don't want to damage. Okay, so this part is out. You can yank it up. Be careful with the screws, don't lose them because you need those screws back to put them back in place. So I will secure the screws first so I don't end up dropping it. Okay, and now we have to remove this white part, which is basically a security clip to keep the plug in place so it don't end up coming out on its own. So we'll just use our hands to remove this white security clip. It will just, you can just thread it and it comes out nice and easy. Yeah, if your fingers are big, it's gonna be a little problematic to jam your fingers inside and pull these things up. Okay, so this is the piece which comes out. Keep it here in the cupboard. And now the tricky part, because this is the cable which needs to be taken out very carefully. So there is a small little tiny plug here which you have to press and gently wiggle to take it out. I will not suggest to use too much of force on this, and I might end up using a small screwdriver to press this portion here and try and take this out. So here you can see I've taken the cable out. This is the small plug which you have to press basically here on the top. So I use a screwdriver and wiggle it left and right because, you know, Normally because of the less space, you end up holding the wires, and if you pull the wire you might end up damaging it. So be careful, just wiggle it softly and it will come out. You just have to take these cables out of this cage now, and we can keep this part to the side. Okay, now we'll use the Hansshaw swivel piece, which will go in here. We'll lock it in with the screw, then put the plastic parts into it. So now the next part is we'll be putting up this swivel kit part, which basically goes like this. This is the way. Fits in pretty nicely here, and this part moves, but then, as I said, that this Allen thing is super tight right now. So let's install the original screws back here first, which is this, and these are the screws which will go back up again here, inside here and here. So then the only problem is, because this is the sole thing which will be in your way, so you have to wriggle it a little bit. And before you do anything else, I think we have to kind of loosen it up a little bit, and then okay, so I moved it to the left. So let's screw this first here. And then the second screw, which will go on this side, then I might have to like screw this again. It's super tight. I don't know why Hansshaw sends it this tight. I don't think so. I'm gonna use it this tight ever, because this is gonna make moving my screen so hard. So I got to this side so I can and you screw this back in place. Use Allen key to tighten it up. This side. So this side is a little loose. Yep, nicely done. So this part is done. Now we have to put this plastic cover, which is the OEM cover. Place your wires inside it and try and put it back. Again, you will have to rotate a little bit of it, because obviously of the moving part here. So be careful. This plastic part is really delicate and you can easily break it. So we have to make sure that we kind of twist and turn it. Yep, just goes in. Move the wires out so you can align it and put it back. Okay, so this piece snaps back in. You can see a little bit of gap, but that's okay. It's gonna be behind the screen, so it's not gonna be very visible. You just push it back and it snaps in. Make sure that all 4 clips from the bottom and the top are in place. There is a small plastic piece which Hansshaw gives you, which if you have an older version, this gap is a little bigger here and pretty prominent, and if it annoys you, you can put that plastic piece in between and then put this thing in place, and this goes inside. You can keep the wires outside. Now the next part is that you have to put this piece in here, and you're gonna install this cover is gonna go back on like this, so it becomes perfectly OEM. So make sure that you take the wires inside of it here, and then you snap back to the screen. Now I have lifted the screen a little bit because the cable is a little short, to make sure that it snaps in. I put the protective cover on, and then I snap it nice and tight. Now I'm gonna put the security cap in again, and you might have to use both of your hands to spread this white clip and push it so it can go completely inside. I will place the camera and try and do it with my hand. So this should snap back in, and you will hear a light click. Security clip is back in place. Now I'm going to install this case using its original screws. You just put it in the place, and you put both the screws back from the original case. Okay, so installing this was a little challenging because the screws are round and then they touch this part of it, so you have to use both your hands. I was holding the screen from one hand and trying to screw it. Once it reaches to, there's a cutout here on the bottom. Once it reaches there, then it just goes inside, and it goes well inside the level, so then it is nicely installed. So this piece is done. Now we're gonna slide this up here on this, and you have to make sure that you adjust this the tightness of this bracket before you put this up, because once this is done, this cover will cover it and you might not be able to adjust it. So I might loosen it to my taste, and then I'll slide this in and do the final installation. Here we go. I have all slided in. It is just sitting right at the place. You just have to be a little gentle sliding it in, and I have to install the final 2 screws and then put the temperature sensor on. So these are the screws which came from Hansshaw, which will go in the place. You have to be a little careful installing these screws because the angle is not straight. They are a little like this, little tilted. So you just push it in, and then you screw them up on both the sides, and then the final piece will be installing the sensor, temperature sensor. This is the final screw which will go in on this side. I'm using the Allen key basically to make sure that it is easy to put it in. feel it once it starts going in. Just be careful that it goes correctly and you don't use too much of pressure. And that's it. So the last piece is out, the sensor temperature sensor. I ended up using a flathead to remove the original screws which were come on this original OEM plate. So the newer plate is like this small. There are two versions. If you have a 2021 model, you have this like a prolonged version of it, because this sensor has a fan built into it, so it's like this. And if you have a 2019 and older versions, this is the flat with the hole. The sensor just sits into this and this goes in. Now we'll just plug in the harness back here in this and snap this piece into the place, and then we should be all good. So let's have a look on the side here. You can see so this piece is like this, just snaps into the place, and you put all the cable back, push it inside, and the temperature sensors goes back here. So 2021 model has these two prongs on the side and one on the bottom, so the bottom one slides down first, and then be careful, be gentle with it, because these are the plastic parts. They can break if you put too much of pressure, and then you will not get a replacement piece for this. So just try and be gentle, push it nice and slow, make sure all the cables are inside, tucked inside, and yeah, you don't want to hear that sound. It scares me. That's it. So here you go, guys. It's finally installed, and it really looks and feel amazing. It just tilts 30 degrees, as I mentioned, left and right, and it goes up and down, and it will also help me reducing the glare on it. And yeah, it for sure feels like that you are now a little closer to the screen, and this angle is pretty perfect when I'm driving and looking straight. You know, the map part of it is really good to see, and when my hand is on the steering, I think it will be easier for me to even see the speed and the blind spot when it will turn on. So it's a great product. You can swivel all over the place whenever you want. Mostly I drive this car by myself, and when I have kids, I can swivel it in the middle, so if they're sitting in the back and they want to watch some videos, they can watch it if you're parking and charging. So it's an amazing product, very easy to install. The only few things which you have to take care of is initially taking that first part out. It's a little hard to reach, as I mentioned. You might use two pry tools to pull it out. You might feel a little problematic in the beginning. And the second part was taking the main screen plug out, which was that plug which gets stuck. Otherwise it's pretty straightforward. If you really like the video, let me know. I'll also put a review of the longer drive with this swivel screen pretty soon. And please share your comments, and if you have any questions, put it in the comments below. I'll try and answer them as soon as possible. You can purchase this product from Hanssshaw's website. I will put the link below, and if you'll use the code, my code on it, you will get 15% off. Please support and help me grow my channel. And the next product which I'm gonna install pretty soon is the Hanssshaw's yoke steering. I'm pretty excited about it. I'm gonna install it. I've already ordered it. It's on the way. Hopefully it will come in next 10 days, because they do a custom order. When you place an order, you select oil, trim and style, and then you have to wait for it. I will put the description of that product also very soon, and put a separate video on it. Let me know your thoughts and see you in the next video.